gentlemen, to Legion of Champions Series 4, powered by Lenovo and Intel. And yes, finally the wait is over. Yes, we did have a couple of more hiccups, but nonetheless, second map is going to go live, which is going to be Miramar. The first one was Erangel, and today it's going to be alternate Erangel, Miramar, Erangel, Miramar, and 3 times we're going to play Erangel. But nonetheless, I think our caster desk is ready and the game is about to begin as well. So Shane, over to you.
Thank you, Mamba. And with that, we are ready for map 2 of Legion of Champions Series 4 PUBG PC India LAN finale, powered by Lenovo and Intel. I'm Shay Sayer. Joining me once again is Apollonia as well as Foxtrot. Guys, we've had an amazing map 1. Something that we did not expect to happen, a lot of early fights. And then we had a lot of KG mid-game, and then at the end, that explosive finish. And of course, we saw Kryptonite take the victory. Thoughts?
Kryptonite played extremely well. You know, they were the only team that had the most members, so each team had only 1, 2. Kryptonite came in with 3. They positioned each of themselves in such a way that if both were down, the last one were to finish all the kills, and they did that perfectly, giving them that chicken dinner win.
Was that map 1 exactly what you expected it to be, Foxtrot?
Just like you said, I expected every team to take it a little slow. I thought maybe we'll see fights in the later round, but we saw many fights being picked up in the first beginning or even closer to the first half as well. Obviously, we saw a lot of action in the end, but that's how PUBG works, I mean.
Yeah, with that, let's bring up the scoreboard of how it looks like after map number 1. We did have, of course, we know who took the victory. It was Kryptonite, but it was 18 points, so 8 kills, as well as 10 for position. Second place, District 9. They had a very good showing as well. Went center circle very early, but at the end there, the 1v1 just not able to see through to the finish line, but then 9 more maps to go. Level 0, again, there was a lot of fragging power on that side. Will Wheezy coming up with 4 frags, an explosive start, but not really, again, able to transition that into a chicken dinner. So a lot of potential from some of these squads. IR, surprisingly, there end up going down to just the 1 player off the get-go, but I think Excellent did pretty well to recover back. Apollonia.
Exactly. So, you know, the game is about to start really soon. And what I'm looking forward to is looking at how all the other teams... Now, this is a different map. It's, right? It's a Miramar, right? And this map, it has a lot to do with terrain. And now, you know, their strategy is going to change up. And, of course, with the RNG of the play area, how are they going to work themselves and be able to get the kills that they need to get the points to go further up in the scoreboard?
Yeah, I think most of the squads were pretty lucky there with the zone placements in the first map on Erangel. Nobody really had to move too far away. Got a central circle, central drop, flight path also helping out in that matter. And I think it was just a question of who was able to frag out there at the end to pick up the victory. Miramar, completely different. There's a lot of terrain that's in play as well. Vehicles become an important part of how you're able to progress through the phases. And with that, we are ready with map number 2. We are going to jump straight into Miramar for the action as... having a look at the circle as well, I absolutely love it. Another central circle, but this time squads are a little bit more spread out. Foxtrot.
Yes, that is true, though. With Miramar in play, obviously, like you said, Erangel's got comparatively a smaller map. So in Miramar, they'll be spread out more. Maybe we'll see some early fights, maybe we'll not. But it's all down to how these teams choose to pick fights.
Yep, towards the southern part of the circle there, I see maybe a few squads getting cluttered up early. I see Curry Frags right now. Find themselves a Mirado early. Looks like they found themselves a compound as well, but they're not too far away from Archie Monster and co as well. Google X Squad and the rest are pretty much at Los Leones. In fact, I'm a Ghostly Boy has spread all the way towards the south. It's got a lot of real estate to maneuver around. ORK is pretty much on the eastern side, just west of Impala. Cold-Blood and Co. These guys were edge camping for a large part of map number 1 on that eastern edge, but at the end, they pretty much end up getting pinched and couldn't really make it to that top 2 position, but maybe fortunes are to change here.
Exactly. So earlier, you know, the plane the playing route was from the west to the east.
Yep.
And we see all of the teams are primarily in the middle and at the bottom. But I really like the fact that level 0, they took the chance and went up into the north side. Now their rotation is going to be very easy. And it looks here in the map that they're going to have a good rotation. They're going to be able to hold their ground and wait for the next play area when it comes time.
Yep, and IR initially, if you can switch on over to Hydra Flick, I think there was a few shots fired up at Get Right, who was sitting in a very dangerous spot, pretty much doing what IR themselves did in the first map, going for a very aggressive right, but looks like he's managed to safely maneuver through to the center circle. And looking at the strats as well, I think most of these squads are taking it a little bit easy. Just straight up not looking at too many engages, holding that edge camp that we were talking about, and instead just taking up a central location and trying to maybe just sit out a zone or two.
Exactly, there's a lot of havoc happening in the middle part of the map. You know, everybody is trying to get into the middle of the play area because that's going to be good. You're going to be able to hold your ground. The next circle, you're very likely to be in it.
Yeah.
A few teams are still on the outside, but nevertheless, it looks kind of all right. You know, not much action happening in the first 5 minutes.
Yep, looks like KT eventually will make their way across the leaders right now in the 10-map series. Have themselves a pretty central common, absolutely no one close by. I also see Get Right, who did manage to survive an early scare. Has not really got much of heals there, but the long-range spray coming across. And of course, coupled up with the tap, 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 tap. These are shots that you take not expecting to hit every single one, but that 1 in 100 chance that you land that headshot, maybe get a knock, is going to be a free point coming your way.
So it's insane. No, you see District 9, Indian Rivals, and 4F, they're all clashing in the middle, but Indian Rivals are trying to, you know, remove themselves from that situation. They didn't have a very good first game where 3 members were gone, but one of their members, Excellent, he managed to get 4th place, but we see them spreading out. Unfortunately, Nuke Dark X, he goes down, and it looks like it's time to plan the strategy again.
Yep, indeed. As right now, I'm just sticking with Curry Frags. Got his entire team with them. Looks like they've managed to find themselves decent loot. Not doing too well on the utility. 5 smokes, but absolutely nothing in terms of heals. Just find themselves an SKS and a Scar. And
yeah, I would just like to peep at Crusaders in the bottom in the south. You know, they're taking their time, but they are going to Los Leones. Probably going to try and pick up some loot. If not, the circle is closing in. They're just going to make their way straight and reunite with their teammate.
Yeah, I think we can probably have a look at the map and see where the squads are currently spread out. I love the fact that, again, as expected, a lot more center-oriented positioning from, I think, about 3 squads there that are super tight against each other. And a few shots being fired here and there. I don't think that is an intent to maybe charge in and commit for a full-blown fight, but more on the lines of getting your opponents to spend some utility, maybe take a helmet or a vest off, which eventually, in the long run, is going to suffocate them.
And we do see that 9-year-olds are coming into contact with TTX, and I think some action is about to happen over there. You know, they come in from the west, right up on the road, and there's going to possibly be some fights this early in the game.
Indeed, indeed. As I'm going to try and fly on over, as there's GE on the far side. They're not too far away currently from their opponent's KT. GE again, these guys were expected to do a lot better in map 1. And right now on the scorecard, you can see that 9th position after map 1. Just the 2 points. Definitely not something I saw. I know for a fact GE is easily going to be top 3 here today. I know Apollonia is having a smile on her face, being a GE streamer slash someone who wants to see GE succeed. And I'm sure that they're going to come back in. It was a pretty risky play and didn't really end up working out in their favor, but it's just map 1 of 10. There's 9 more maps to go. Better now than later, right?
Yeah.
Now's the time where you can fix things up and eventually
Yeah, so-
get on a roll. Momentum plays a key part in LAN finals. It's 5 maps that are played on a single day. You want to eventually build momentum, get those 1, 2, 3 chicken dinners in the bag, and that is what's going to secure the win at the end.
One thing that we saw that is similar to the last map is Indian Rivals lost one of the players once again in a pretty early engagement, and that is just not working out for them at the moment.
And then we do see a clash between TTX and 9-year-olds. It looks like 9-year-olds are trying to dip out of their situation real quick. They do manage to finish off Cavill. They gotta make their way to the play area, as we know that the restricted area, it's gonna close a lot faster in this mode. And it looks like TTX, Kinzu is gonna take the long route on the map, but nevertheless, looking at GE, they seem in a pretty alright spot, very close to TEG though. As much as I do like GE, I respect all of the teams here. And of course, the better team will win and they will do well in this tournament.
Indeed, as looking back at the squads right now, I see D9 sitting on 2 kills again. Something that they were very promising at the start the last time. Lots of kills in the bag, but couldn't really translate that into much more. And off to a hot start yet again. Maybe fortunes end up different this time around.
Well, we still see TG picking up fights with Curry frags there. Makes it out of there. Not much damage done to him, but still, that position being given away, and it looks like 9-year-olds are taking advantage of it.
Right, and we can see that all the teams, they are very close together, except for that team right in the bottom. That is Crusaders. They're going to make their way very, very slowly in. I think this is a pretty good strategy. They do have big mountains and terrain next to them. I mean, they can be a little like...
Ooh, there we go. Orim comes across, a couple of shots tagged up. There is a lot more of TEG there, and lucky for him, manages to get back to some cover and wades. It would be risky to re-peek that. They know exactly where those shots came from, and chances are he's gonna end up getting knocked and a lot more utility to be expended from GE.
I also like to point out that you see TTX, they're taking the long way in, but I'm not, it looks like they're definitely going to get edge camped, but I think that was a good idea because they had to remove themselves from a previous fight with 9-year-olds.
Yep, looking at the center of the circle, everyone is so tightly knit, right?
Yeah.
There is on one side GE, TEG, KT, all of them pretty much close to about 500 meters separating the 3 squads, and towards the northern edge of the center circle as well, you have Captain Pons' squad, Archie, Rachit Pawar and team, Accelerate and Co. So there's the 2 groups that are sort of to form up. There's one at the south and there's one at the north, and I think we're gonna have maybe multiple engages happening from a get-go.
I really like how Crusaders are trying to third-party the fight between GE and TEG. I think that could really turn in their advantage if taking the fight at the right time.
Exactly, and we do see that the next play area is on the map right now, is right where Hacienda del Patron is. That's going to be cool. You do see a lot of rocky terrain on closer to the south side. So GE can definitely use that to their advantage, getting that high ground over the other teams because they are closer in that respect. Looking at the bottom side of the map, we do have Crusaders. They're going to make their way there to TTX also on the way. Now these teams are moving in. The east side is completely bare, but is there cover? Not much. There's only small settlement areas, but they can hold their ground. In the first game, we saw amazing bouts of teams holding their ground and waiting for the right opportunities.
Yep, and D9 will eventually vacate the stronghold compound that they've been holding. Instead, decide to move out into the open and maybe fish for a squad or 2. Looks like there is 9-year-olds at the same time also on the rotate, just having found themselves a compound, and we might just see a long-range duel battle out in just a bit. Foxtrot.
Yes, that is true, though. I really like how we haven't lost the entirety of teams. Yes, there is some damage done, but the teams are still standing strong. And we see engagement coming up. Amit spots. Arcaven doesn't take the shots, though. He's waiting for his teammates to get him some cover or possibly help them out.
Yep, there is, in fact, Axelin above with the SLR tapping away from long range as squad that did make it far up despite not the best of starts. Only the 7th position for just position points. I don't think they managed to get any kills on the board, but regardless, they've managed to keep themselves. Makes a day of shots coming through. He's all in the open and he tries to dance around, gets knocked down, and now Axelin. That is 1 point to be had. Can he secure? There's a good chance that maybe third party coming through, but he does have his teammate in iFlix to secure that up. And D9, yet again, strong start, but crumbling under the pressure.
D9 is absolutely killing it right now. Crusaders is trying to make their way into the map, but Crusaders is going down one by one. And Indian rivals, you know, they're trying to also move. We see them wanting to rotate, but it's tough right now because there's so many teams around them. Even Kryptonite is around them. And it looks that D9 is so spread out. Get Right is caught. He is caught in not a very good situation.
Yep, and moving over to Tantrum X Esports. These guys have been, again, in the scene for a very long time. Justfire, the man on the screen. This guy has had an amazing year. Absolutely all out fragging his way through tournaments, and this stage is absolutely the one that is going to be ideal for him. He needs to start picking up that momentum and get a few frags to the board, get the juices flowing, and I think that is what Tantrum X eventually are going to fall back on their star fragger.
We see Global Esports are trying to make an encounter happen with TEG, but that's just not the case so far. They're trying to get a better position moreover, because even if they win that fight, they know that they have to play according to the circle, and that is exactly what we're seeing them do. That's some great experience play coming right at them.
Exactly, and we do see some shots being fired between the teams, you know, as the rotations are happening. This is actually really spicy, I feel, because it wasn't this happening in the first game, but now everybody, they're warmed up, they're ready, and they're fighting. So Tantrum X, you know, they're trying to get themselves in. It looks like AK God is almost going to make it. There is one surviving member. Do you see him? And he just made his way right in to the circle. That is amazing. D9. Oh, sorry. There's a few of them. They were the same
That's Archie Monster, in fact. 19 HP, and this is what you pretty much do. Just zigzag, not good enough. Gets tagged from afar, and Wheezy, yet again, with the cleanup from afar. Level 0 continue to roll in with the punches, and despite all the action that we're seeing, all the frags coming through, still all 10 squads in the server. Foxtrot.
We're about to see 9-year-olds pick up a fight on that petrol station right there. TEG giving away the position, obviously. I don't think they're going to last long with 9-year-olds having so much of cover in that match.
Exactly. 9-year-olds, you know, they're holding their ground right now. This is what we were talking about. You do the quick rotation and you hold your ground. There's also a loot crate that we see, and it's really close to TEG. So are they going to take that chance to get that loot? To make sure that...
I mean, TEG right now is itching right there in the compound. They can see it. It's an AUG cheek pad, as well as a lot of 5.56 ammo cheek pad as well, in case you're running a DMR or a bolt action sniper, something that is expected of you.
Exactly. So looking at the map now, you see there are lots of shots being fired. There's so many things happening. Right now, you see 9-year-old Google. He is doing his best. He's keeping on the lookout.
Yeah, there goes the first spray across, and Coldzera just straight up drops, and they're also so well spread out. There's gonna have to be some utilities coming through to case this, but looks like iFlix is not gonna stop there. He's getting shot from the side. He just goes pro. The captain goes down. Excellent says, no sir, not today. I've got your back right there. Comes across, and now coming across Axelin and team. What's happening? It is death drill now, dancing across. Axelin does get taken out. The Reds coming through. Where are the teammates? Are there anyone coming in to challenge this? A lot of smokes down, but looks like for now, level 0, they weathered the storm. Another squad down to the top 8. A big fight going their way.
That was brilliant for level 0, you know, taking down Indian rivals right there. They just earned themselves a good amount of points. Now, what is going to be the strategy in moving in?
Oh, that thought Gunblade also ends up taking quite a bit of damage into the smoke. Just not coming in the nick of time, and from above, yet again. TEG step up. There is KT making their way across, and more damage coming down. Wheezy from above is going away. Tap, 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 tap. Try and make it into the zone, he says. And that's 4 kills on the board. 3 kills again for Wheezy. This man is pretty much continuing where he left off on map number 1.
Exactly. Kryptonite is being caught in a crossfire between level 0 and a standing member. That is insane. So it looks like this last man is from Crusaders. It is infected. He was shooting right at Kryptonite, and level 0 was shooting at Kryptonite as well. That's why Curry Frags is down. And it's going to be tough for Niantic right now. His teammate is down. He's going to have to try and do something here.
There's a lot of angles from where bullets are going to come down. 28 HP. He's going to have to probably just stick it and go for the fight. He spots the head from ORK. Just about gets into cover. Going for that first. He's got 2 more to work with. No smokes, no nades, no nothing. Blue's going to come in, and that's going to force him out in the open. He's going to have to take that, but ORK, they need to make the rotation across as well. Maybe a small window to try and sneak into the zone, and I think he's going to be able to do so successfully. While Infected, he's got some problems of his own on his way in. He's got a lot of squads on his right, and there you go, shots coming in from TEG. They've got their eyes set, couple more bullets, and that might just be lights out. But Madara, I think, is gonna miss a couple of shots there, allowing him to eventually get to cover.
Exactly, and when all of that was happening, I just witnessed, I just witnessed District 9. They were caught in the crossfire. They were trying to do something. Looking at the whole map.
Ooh, hold that thought. AK is alone, holding 2 players. Spots the head from Wheezy. Wheezy yet again comes out on top of that fight, and now he's got a teammate there with his smoke available. Let's see if they can spot him out there. There's 2 more players about, and they're from the vehicle as well. There's a Miracle on the ready, and Wheezy is gonna try to go in hot. Just fire, runs in, but he's gonna get traded in return from 9-year-olds. Captain up ahead is probably spotted out. Yeah, there you go. He sees nothing, needs a show. The Car 98 from downtown. The headshot coming across. Instant assassinates him out. And he's not done just yet. More fish to be fried. ORK Infected says, nope, nope, not the place to be. Not now.
See how TEG is essentially on a collision course over here against Global Esports. 2 seconds in, and you're going to see some bodies fall and some bullets being shot right at him. Because right now we see 2 squads, and not only that, we're seeing CRS even third-party them. So this could be the fight of the match.
Yep, there's a lot of, I think there's 3 squads there towards the northern edge of the circle trying to make their way in, but there's a lot of fights that they have to take. I don't see a way of them being able to work around this. There's GE on one end, there's TTX as well. Shots being fired, there's a drop going down, all hell's breaking loose. Meanwhile, TG, they do end up getting one of the players knocked in. Aurum is also red HP going in for the first aid. Lynch should be able to get the res off here, but Wade's Gaming and team, this may be the opportunity to straight up going for the push. There comes the smoke above, and looks like they will eventually try and dodge GE, and oh no, they're not. They say, you know what, you want to fight, we're gonna get them one.
Exactly, it looks like GE is holding their ground. We do see Sally is in a good spot, but the rest of the members, they are trying to put
Yeah, it's
GE
coming up a moment. Ooh. He's gonna take it down, but Paul from behind gets the trade. And ooh, that was looking like disaster time for GE. But Sadie holds on. And now 9-year-olds trying to make their way in. Cold-blooded team is sitting pretty much inside, nice and pretty. They're holding the angle down. Accelerate and Co. They have to somehow sneak in here from the northern side. And looking at the scorecard as well, cold-blooded team, they've got a way to go to get to that top of the scorecard, but with only 3 teams alive, this is the time you get those kills in. 4 kills per squad, you're gonna be able to leapfrog about on that leaderboard. Foxtrot.
Totally, getting those kills down is going to be an advantage for them because obviously not only are they leveling up in the ranks on what this map is offering them, but they're also getting more kills on the board, and that is just going to help them overall in this 10 map advantage.
Yep, there's vehicles available as well. I see a pickup truck right now. They're not yet committing to it, 2 vehicles, but right now I think just going guns blazing into the zone is not the best of options. You're gonna have to maybe enjoy your opponents first, take a couple of picks before you do hard commit through. And of course, it's 3 squads. There's a big probability that you're gonna get third-partied in as well. So understandable why all of these 3 squads are taking maybe a slight breather right now.
Exactly, and 4F, they were in a very good spot. They have been camping and holding their ground in this play area for a very long time. And now they are looking at 9-year-olds. It looks like it's going to be tough for them. There's not much terrain around, but you did mention that there are vehicles. And it's also a good way, you know, to use as a form of defense in this case.
Yep, I see Sadie Boy with the SLR. This is something, he was an SKS player for a large part of time, but now SLR is his go-to weapon. And I've had the unfortunate opportunity of having played against his SLR in PUBG. Let me just say, that is one scary person to go up against when he does have the DMR in his hands. And right now, thanks to the ledge grab, he's going to be able to get himself up, go for those peaks. There's a drop coming down as well. Wade's thinking out, should I? Should I not? Should I? Should I not? I think he's going to go for it.
Exactly, and we see shots being fired from 4F right on to the team that is
Ooh, they're coming across. Ghostly Boy coming in hot with the vehicle there, and he's got backup as well. There is Googling. Here comes in Ghostly Boy, takes the first fire across, but GE, they're going to take a more position. 4F, one of the players does get knocked, but there's no backup. Where's the rest of his teammates? They're not there just yet. And the Parth, I think he's going to expect more players to be in and around to go for the res. Coldblood's down as well. Parth, he's got no inkling of where the rest of his opponents are coming from. He's all alone, and chances are he's just going to get thirsted down, and he's going to pretty much be left to his own devices here for the final of map 2.
Exactly, we see 9-year-olds coming into the area which 4F was trying to hold, and GE is also coming from the south side. So 4F, they held their ground in this settlement, but from the north and south, these teams are pushing straight in.
Ooh, there you go. Parth has no clue. Just gets taken out in a moment's notice. Roy manages to creep up, and that is gonna be another squad down to the top 2, 4v3 situation. GE, we talked about this not more than 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
This is their map to come back on, and knowing for a fact that there's a lot of amazing long-range sniper DMR players, it is no surprise that they find themselves in the top 2 situation. Now is the time to bring it home. They're spread out. Sadie, Wade's holding a pixel angle there behind the truck, trying to see if he can get an inch. He's gonna take it.
Exactly, and this is a 4v3 situation. GE definitely has the upper hand right here. The next play area is on 3 of the members. The 4th member is right there. It looks like Accelerate, he's gonna make his way in. He is on the high ground, but it's going to be a tough rotation for them, but they do have they have to make use of the utility to be able to
I like the fact that 2 players are holding long range, and then you have Nilesh as well as Roy who continue to sneak in. They're going to try and get in close range, toss in some nades, see if they can get something done. I don't see nades in, but there's at least one Molotov from Nilesh. If used right, it's going to force one of the players at least out into the open, and if that is a duel that Nilesh wins, that is it. They're going to force a full-blown engage there, and let's see if that is something we get to see here. Very cagey. No one really wants to make this first mistake, because first place, 10 points. Second place is 6 points. There's a big difference there. Not to mention a lot more kills to be had on the board as well. 3 kills, or maybe even 4 in some instances. So, understandable why we're going to wait out for the next zone to come through. There's a compound being held right now, I see, by Accelerate and team. So no reason why 9-year-olds are going to come out and hard commit to this. But that being said, this is top 2 of top 4 team right here. Both these squads, I expect them to have an equal chance moving in. to map number 10, that last map of tomorrow. But we're going to pave a long way into making inroads. Wade's Gaming.
Exactly. Exactly. So we see GE over here, you know, they're holding their ground. I like the way that they're playing. They have two members right up close to their targets, but then they have two other long range. And we do see shots are being fired and exchanged from 9-year-olds and Global Esports. I'm not sure what to make of this. What do you think?
Sadie is right now just trying to pixel peek. Wade's Gaming has already given away his position. He did take a shot to the helmet, and that level 2 helmet is not looking all that great. Ghostly Boy was holding the angle for quite a bit of time, but eventually not seeing any action. Ooh, the nade doesn't work, and Neelish ends up going down. Roy wants an immediate trade across two players, almost made up right up. Connect. No is the answer, but Roy just barely manages to survive. 3 HP there at the end, gets the first aid off, but that does not ensure. There you go. Shots coming through the screen, it up, and now the zone is gonna chip through. Roy gets tagged down, and Sadie is gonna be forced in to get something done. There's Wade's Gaming. In the hand, the timing works the absolute best. And Sadie ends up going up. Lane coming across, does good work, and Sadie still being around. Wins the fight there at the end. The battle of the DMR. One small pixel angle. Wade's needs this shot, needs to make this happen. GE facing what might be a second phase finish here. There is a chance to get the res off. Where's the utility? No smokes, not available. Wade's is probably gonna have to come in. Spots the first player, going for the flank. Effects more coming his way. None to be had just yet. 9-year-old. Oh no! So close. The first spray should have gotten the job done. A small window, an absolute small window. I love the fact that he guesses the 2-punch to come across, but that spray, the first spray, unfortunately not enough to get the kill, and forced into a second peek across, because you know there's that last player coming in from the right-hand side. Time is ticking. He's gonna have to make the play happen, and unfortunately there is gonna come in second position. But what an amazing game again, guys. Could you break it down for me?
Exactly. It was a 3v4 situation. 4 members on the side of GE. But the way 9-year-olds played that, it was amazing. They knew the positioning of where GE was. They took down 2 players, and then the 3 of them, they finished off the last 2. That was unbelievable.
Yes, not only that, we saw 9-year-olds connect every shot that they took. Every fight that they were taking, they knew how to take it. They know what advantage they had, tactically, strategically, and any way possible. And they made sure that every bullet that they are going to shoot is landing in the opponent's head.
Yep, and that was interesting strat there coming in from GE at the end as well. Split up 2-2, you have your 2 players up in personal, and you have the 2 players holding angles with the DMR from afar, providing backup. But for that strat to have worked out, they needed at least 1 or 2 kills from their frontliners. But having gone down without a trade, eventually pretty much left them exposed in an open field with no smokes, just 1 Molotov to work with. Not the best of scenarios when you have 3 players running at you, but I think Wade's did do really well there at the end, gets the first knock. It was an adventurous peek across, but yeah, at the end of the day, pick up the victory. Looking at the scorecard as well, not only was it a chicken dinner, but 10 kills on the scorecard. That's 20 points that they've managed to pick up right there. So
that's quite a show from 9-year-olds.
Indeed, indeed. And second position, of course, going to GE. They were not too bad with the kill department as well. 6 kills. That's, I think, 12 points in total picked up. And looking elsewhere, I see, again, Wheezy coming in with 4 kills, replicating his 4 kills from map number 1. Still in 4th position, early stages of the tournament. You have still 8 more maps to play. And considering that you're picking up points every single place, I think consistency plays a very big part here when you do have this grueling 10-map series. Not only do you have to play well, but you have to be consistent. You're gonna have to grind results on maps that you're not doing all that great in, and the places where you are, you're gonna have to convert them into chicken dinners with high kills. So I think with that, they've done an absolute fabulous job with that. We see eventually GE getting their resurgence back into this map, but 9-year-olds, personally, I think they were the absolute best squad. If I had to pick one, it's very tight, but I think of all the 10, I'd give them the slight edge moving into this, and they've pretty much shown why they are a championship threat to all the rest of the squads that are here. And with that, we are done with map number 2 on Miramar. This is the Legion of Champions Series 4 PUBG PC India LAN finale, powered by Lenovo and Intel, live from Comic-Con Bengaluru. I'm Shade Slayer. We'll take a quick break. Map number 3 is just around the corner.